So here's the link to the example one. Like I said, it shouldn't take you but a few minutes, and then I'll come back on and see how you're doing.
Hello, miss. I think I'm very confused because I have another Google Meet. With Anita, sorry. Is the same or is Google Forms?
Eva, I think you're signed in twice.
Or because I already signed up for Anita Chavez. They said Google Forms, and then I got your email.
Yeah,
Is Google Forms too?
you're in here twice, so you can sign out of one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see what kind of form.
The sound went down.
So right now you should be, no, I'm not talking. So I wasn't talking for a little bit. I was giving you a chance to go ahead and fill out the Little Red Riding Hood Google Forms that I sent out. So if you haven't clicked on that and checked it out, go ahead and I'm going to send the link again. There's a bit.ly/Red Riding Hood link.
So can we create any kind of story using this form?
I'm going to show you. So this is just the example just to see what it looks like for your students and how they would be filling out one of these types of forms. And then I'll show you how to create one. So yes.
Thank you.
So once you're finished, if you could in the chat, just give a little thumbs up, just yes, something like that. So I know that we're ready to continue. Awesome. That looks like quite a bit of you are finished. So I'm going to go ahead and Yeah, so it can loop back and it can keep on going until you go through all of them until you actually find the submit button. But that is just how I tried to make it really short so you could get through it so that we wouldn't spend too much time on that. But I'm going to go ahead and present my screen and show you how to create one. So we're going to head over to Google Forms. And we'll start with just a blank quiz. And up here at the top, you can title it anything you want. I'm going to go ahead and stick with just fairy tales for now. You can take your adventure anywhere you want to, any theme, any subject. You can use pictures in your theme if you're in the lower grades and your kids are not quite reading. Your questions can be in picture form. Your answers can be in picture form. So just keep that in mind that you can use just about anything you want. And so let's just pick the three little pigs. Pretty well-known story. Yeah. Use my capital letters here. And you can put your description about what the story is going to be about. And this is where it kind of takes its own form. So I think somebody has their mics on. So if you need to talk, go ahead and talk. But if you're just listening, go ahead and turn off your mics for me, please. Thank you. So we're going to say the three little pigs are ready to build a house. And that's where we're going to start from there. And this first part right here is going to be your first question. And you can start it off by saying, what type of house? And you do want to use the required button here. And then you choose these three dots right here. So after you choose your options, so let's stick with some of the traditional ones, the straw, the brick house, and I don't know, what's the other one made of? I don't remember. Sticks. There we go. And you go here where it says go to selection based on answer. So if they chose straw, you can choose the next selection, and you want to go ahead and build some selections out here. And I like to go ahead and put quite a few to start with, and so that there's quite a few, and I'm just going to start with 12. But that way when you're in here, you can choose all the selections. So this one, if I choose straw, it's going to go to this section right here. So if they built this house out of straw, it's going to go to that section. This one's going to go to the next section, and this one's going to go to section 3. And so based on what the student chose here, you can choose what happens here. So a house built of straw. And we can change the story from here. We can say, does it get blown down? You know, the wolf comes, things like that. So let's change that up. The wolf comes to the house built of straw. And oops, we need to put in a question. So here's our question. Does it hold up? So you have your section, and then you got to put in your question. You do have to put required. and then you can put your yes and no. Sorry, I think someone's asking a question, but I cannot hear you. It's not coming in clearly. So, um, if you
Miss
could just put your question in the chat, I can.
Miss Becky, turn your mic off.
Wired, and then you can put your. If it's Irving, you have your mic on. You're on here twice, and one of your mics is on. Sorry. All right. All right. So then when you're back over here, so you can ask the question in the next section, the house built of straw. So then it goes to this one. Does it hold up? Yes, no. And again, you can keep it going based on that answer. So you can say this one goes here. So what happens if it does get, if it's blown down? So and then just keep the story going. You can keep it, you can make it in, you can make it turn to a different direction. So let's say, does it hold up? Yes. Then I go to section 4. We haven't used that one. No, it doesn't. So what happens after that? So then they go to section 5, and you just keep filling these out as you go along. It is kind of hard to keep track. So if you want, on the side, maybe jot down where your things are. But as you fill these out, it does tell you right here, as you start to fill them, they do start to get some description in here. So this one says section 2, the wolf came to the house of straw. So section 3, it's not filled out yet, and you'll see that you can still go to that one. I need to fill the sticks. I put it to section 3. I can go back here.
Anita, could you just go over again how you get from your answer for the very first question, how you get from that answer to the next Google form again? I just kind of missed that.
Sure. So I'll just start, like, if do you want me to start a brand new one or just from here?
No, that'd be fine from there. I just don't know
Here?
where to click and where to go again. It just went so fast I missed it.
Sorry. So I started at the beginning, and it starts you off with just your main description and then a question. So that's the very first section. And then from this question, as you put in your question, you go to the 3 dots and you start adding more sections. And what I did was I kept clicking here, and I don't know if you were able to see that I was clicking a whole bunch, but I added sections and another section and another section, and I just kept adding a whole bunch of sections. Accidentally added that one. And so there's now, if I scroll down, there's now 12 sections. And so I wanted to add all of those before I did anything else.
That's where I got confused why you added so many instead of just the 3 for the 3 answers. I didn't quite get that part. So go ahead and explain that if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, because they fill up quickly. And if you don't have one ready to go to, it tends to get you tend to get a little lost. Like, where did I use that one yet? Did I go to that one already? So I like to have it ready, and you can maybe start a little at a time. But if I look in here and I click here, it'll only have, if I don't do that, it'll only have continue to next section. But I don't want it to just go to the next section. I want to be able to go to section 1, section 2, section 3, at least for these ones. So if I want to just do 3, I can. But then when I go to this next one and I go to section 2, this one's already ready. So I already have these sections to go to section 4 and section 5. So then they go
Okay.
to
Okay,
that.
thank you so much. Thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I just like to have it ready so that I can just keep going. I don't have to keep adding sections like how many sections do I make? And if I add one after this, then those sections, I'll show you right here, it gets added right here. And so I don't want it to mess up my rotation, I guess. And I don't think it will, but yeah, see now my section 3 is somewhere else. So I don't know what happened to it. So it's still there, but then it kind of went away for a little bit. So I like to have plenty, and I could always add more at the very end if I start to run out, but I do like to front load them. And then as I'm going along, I can kind of keep track this way. I like to have it ready, and then I just see where I'm at from there. If I ever do get lost, I always have my little I button, which is just the preview, and I can kind of see where it's going. Whoops, that one's required, so I can look to see how it's doing.
Anita, let's say that you're wanting them to do a certain, or maybe something like an escape room, or you want them to come up to a certain answer. Let's say that they choose one answer, but you want them to choose, let's say D, and they choose C. Can you make that section go back to the first one and say, start over or something like that?
Yes. So I don't know, if some of you filled out those forms and they're like, it just keeps making me go back. Yes. So you can make it to where it goes back to the first section. So they have to try again, things like that. So if they didn't get the combination right, or whatever the lock was that you had on there, you definitely can make it, all the answers go back to that one unless they get it the correct one, you know. There
Okay, thank you.
is, I do have some already made forms that have some for breakouts that are example ones that I could share with you. Who is that talking to me? Because I can't see you.
That was me, Diva.
Eva? Okay, yeah, so I can share those with you after the meeting, and you can look those over to see if that's what you were looking for. All right, so let's continue, and we'll go to section 4. So you just keep track of where your answers are going. And I didn't finish this one, did I? So section 3, this one's about the sticks, and I'm not going to be too specific, but I do put a question with each one, and it doesn't always have to be multiple choice. You can have them answer if you want them to do like short answer, but I don't think you'll be able to go based on an answer. You can't go to that section based on that answer. So you leave it. I'll leave it on multiple choice for that. If at the very end you want them to maybe finish out the story, you can definitely do that with the short answer or even a paragraph. You can even have your students create their own stories using Google Forms like this and have them share their stories with other students. I've seen that in some of the teacher blogs, things like that. And so we'll say again, is the house hold up? And of course, you can make these questions more elaborate. And like I said, if you want to add pictures for your younger students, you can always do a Google search, or if you have some of your own, you can definitely put in a picture here. And there's a little stick house, and then you can put in your questions, yes or no, and have your answers, take them to the next section based on that. And I think we're at section 6 now. So yeah, I tend to get 4 and 5. Yep. So 6 and 7. And then section 4 we haven't used. So yes, this one's going to be for section 4. So this could be what happens if it does hold up, what happens if it doesn't hold up, for section 4 and section 5. So they're safe, things like that. So you kind of get the gist of it. And so hopefully you know how to add pictures, you know how to add the questions in here, you know how to go to the 3 dots to make sure that it goes to a section based on an answer, and find the section that you need. Are there any questions so far before I continue? Look in the chat here. I know I went a little fast earlier. And can you build a simple quiz and tabulate the score? For the choose your own adventure, I'm not sure. Like you still get, let me go to this one. You still get answers. And so those of you that filled this one out, you get your summary, you get to see what responses people answered on all of these. I don't know that, I didn't fill it out so that you could see your own answers, but you do have those options whenever you are filling out the form. So you can see, let's see, your progress, nope, nope. Maybe not. I didn't have it collect. Respondents can see summary charts and text responses. I guess you can try that one. But on this one, I didn't collect your emails or anything like that. So possibly if you change those settings, you can probably do that. Would it be confusing in the gradebook? What do you mean, Miss Arlene?
So I'm not sure how this is going to show up. So you're going to end up with a bunch of Google Forms in your Drive. Then what do you do with it?
So for this type of thing, I mean, you can still put it into a spreadsheet. It won't show up in your grade book right away.
Well, I was just wondering how, I guess what we do is I think I'm getting in my mind what I'm going to do. And so maybe the very last answers, they can do a written thing about it or something, and that one I grade or something, because I'm not sure how many forms show up, because each form is going to have its own Excel spreadsheet, right?
No, so this is one spreadsheet for all of you that submitted this. It just gives me the different answers that you put in. So, but I didn't get your emails, so it's not going to tell me who did what. But if, as a teacher, you have that option to collect emails, so you know who's submitting what.